Hello, today I'll be talking about the book Freedom Apartment by Ghazi Algosaibi. I'll start by sharing a bit about the author and the book, and then I'll read an excerpt to give you a glimpse of its unique perspective. Ghazi Algosaibi was a renowned Saudi writer, diplomat, and poet known for addressing social and political issues in his work. Freedom Apartment is a novel that tells the story of a young studies student living in Cairo. During a time of personal and cultural exploration, it reflects on themes of freedom, self-discovery, and the challenges of balancing traditional with modernity. Let's start reading the first part of the novel. The questions in his mind never ended, and he didn't know the answer to any of them. Now, the pilot was occupying him with new questions. Perhaps this was the aim of competition, to push away the many annoying questions from the passengers' minds, so they could focus on one non-annoying question, albeit a bit stranger. How much fuel does this plane hold? This was the question posed to the passengers. They were told that passenger who found the correct or closest number would win a valuable prize. The flight attendant distributed the forms, and each passenger took their form and began to think. Fuad, too, immersed himself in thought. How many gallons does this plane hold? It was a question that had never crossed his mind before. Not even remotely could he compare it to a car. He knew that a car could easily hold 20 gallons, but a plane was much larger, far larger. It carried over 100 passengers with their luggage, and some of that luggage was as heavy as his. He smiled broadly as he remembered his luggage. 4 heavy suitcases in addition to an overstuffed carry-on bag. He recalled his brother Khalil's comment, "What is this? Are you going to the moon or the North Pole? Why so much luggage?" But his mother insisted that he take everything he might need in the land of the strangers. The list of necessities included strange items, bath towels, tea boxes, scented soap bars, chocolate and biscuit boxes, and a small-size radio. He smiled as he pictured all these things sitting inside his suitcases. Then his smile faded as he pictured himself standing before the customs officer at Cairo airport.
He had heard a lot about customs officers, how they opened every bag and rummaged through everything, not letting you pass without a payment, and paying was a confused issue. His brother Nasser said, laughing, "Imagine going to Cairo to study law, starting your life with a bribe punishable by law. Picture yourself jailed at the police station. Do you know the punishment for bribery? At least a year? Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha." The matter was not funny at all. It was a real dilemma. His experienced friend who had passed through Cairo airport assured him that there was no way out without paying. Paying meant bribery, and bribery was a crime too. He hadn't heard of anyone being arrested at Cairo airport for bribery, but who knows? He recalled Nasser's chuckle. "I don't know how you'll manage in Cairo. You struggle in shallow water. God help you. I wish I could be there to watch. Passport control, customs, you'll get so flustered. Ha ha ha." Ha 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 to his brothers. It seemed like a joke, but he couldn't see the humor. He was still 16, 20 years younger than Nasser and 10 years younger than Khalid. They were used to traveling, but for him, this was his first trip alone. On all revised trips, there was always someone older to handle the arrangements and deal with the endless complexities of the picture. Even to Bahrain, everything had been arranged for him. Nasser had escorted him to the airplane's door, but now he was alone. There was no one to arrange or manage things for him. He had to rely on himself. He had to remember that a new stage in his life had begun. He had become a man, and he had to face foreign lands and their challenges as men do.
Foreign lands? But he did not feel he was heading into foreignness. He was going to Cairo. How could Cairo be foreign? Cairo was the capital of the Arabs, the stronghold of Islam and the mother of the world, as the Egyptians called it, who also called it Egypt. The Cairo of Jamal Abdel Nasser, the voice of the Arabs, the struggle against colonialism, the Cairo of hope and the Cairo of the nationalization of the canal. With the thought of nationalization, everything else faded away. The questions scattered, the worries evaporated, and the fears disappeared. He felt a warm sensation running through his veins. Only a few weeks have passed since the nationalization. The memory of that historic speech was still engraved deep within him. The powerful, captivating voice still echoed in his ears. A decision from the President of the Republic to nationalize the Suez Canal Company, a joint stock company. The Suez Canal? No, the canal of raiding colonialism, the canal of leading to a bright tomorrow, built by the Egyptian Revolution for all Arabs. And now, he was on his way to the Cairo of the revolution, the Cairo of Jamal Abdel Nasser. His emotion surged as he imagined being in the same city as Jamal Abdel Nasser. Who knows, perhaps one day they would share the same street. He might even see him in person or shake his hands and speak with him. Why not? Didn't Jamal Abdel Nasser respond to all letters sent to him by the high school student in Bahrain? Didn't he send them his pictures as requested? True, the signature was just a stamp, but it was Jamal Abdel Nasser's signature. Surely he must have signed the original himself.
One of the classmates suddenly raised his finger. Mr. Hadley, did you hear Jamal Abdel Nasser's speech yesterday? He spoke for more than 3 hours. Poor listeners. Another classmate added, Look, Mr. Hadley, a signed picture from Jamal Abdel Nasser was given to us today. Don't you want to see it? No, I know what he looks like, and I'm not interested in looking at his picture. I thought sending picture was a habit reserved for actresses. The class ended with a debate about Jamal Abdel Nasser. The student managed to kill 3 birds with 1 stone, defending Arab nationalism, annoying the colonist teacher, and passing the hour without any effort. However, these pleasant thoughts couldn't make him forget the practical matters. Would someone be there to greet him at the airport? Where would he stay? How would he meet his friend who had already gone to Cairo when he didn't know their addresses? He tried to answer these questions calmly, one by one. Regarding the greeting, his father had sent a telegram last week to Mr. Sharif, who would be supervising him in Cairo. Surely Mr. Sharif would send someone to greet him if he couldn't do it himself. In the worst case, he had Mr. Sharif's address in Duqi, and he could go to him directly. As for accommodation, Mr. Sharif must have arranged it before his arrival. Regarding his friends, they would be staying in the Islamic Conference Towers. Surely, it will be easy to get the address of the tower from Mr. Sharif, or from the conference itself. It was all very simple. Thank you all for listening to us reading this amazing book. We hope you enjoyed listening as much we did making this project. The book is An Apartment Called Freedom by Ghazi Algosaibi, translated to English by Norah Aldosri. The background time lab is by Grey Liu Art.
full show notes and text will be linked down below. Thank you.